Hi, thank you for taking the time to watch this video today. What we're going to do here is cover the Workspot design concepts. So this playbook is intended for MSPs, partners, and customers that want to deploy Workspot, anywhere from a simple lab environment to a full-blown enterprise solution. So what we'll do here is walk through the fundamental design concept and show you how it'll scale out. Now this single box design is a little bit more advanced. We have some enterprise customers looking at to do this. Now what we're looking at here is we're actually doing a box in box type of concept where we still have the single main box, but a customer might have multiple Azure subscriptions or multiple GCP projects or multiple AWS accounts. That Workspot control plane can make a connection to each one of those individually. And the cool thing here is they don't even really necessarily need to talk to each other because we'll use Entra ID and do Azure Active Directory join. And so you can completely isolate all these. And then from a gateway perspective, a couple different things can happen here. We could have a dedicated box for the gateways, and we can peer the different other boxes to those gateways to share them, or we could actually put these gateways within each box. Now, when I use the term box here too, we can actually take this up a level. You could picture this blue box being maybe an enterprise customer's estate of Azure tenants, and inside, instead of being like, for example, an Azure subscription, this white box here could be actually a whole Azure tenant dedicated to Workspot. You might want to do this for very large deployments, and you want to break it up into business units. You want to reduce your blast radius for failures. All these kind of concepts can come into play. But what's really interesting here is you could use a single identity on the main, so I've got an Azure tenant here, which contains all the identities and the compute objects for the directory services, but we're actually delivering these actual cloud desktops onto different IaaS. So it's a really interesting concept some of our enterprises are going to be using today. I just wanted to point this one out. We're getting a little bit more advanced, but again, it's still simplicity in the whole foundation of it all. And so, this has come about like where there's more isolation needed, whether it's dividing up by business units, or simply they want to kind of reduce potential outage, blast radius on outages and things along those lines. So this is kind of one of these type of designs that we could leverage for that. Now, currently, we can support this on GCP, AWS EC2, and Azure. And because it's Entra ID only, Core doesn't support it. vSphere and Nutanix are not really supported for this either. Now, obviously, we could get into a hybrid mode here, but then you've got Active Directory considerations and maybe having to link up some of these boxes via networking. That's something a customer or an MSP or partner is going to have to decide how to architect that, but it's certainly doable.